Hi everybody. So we went and checked out Nay Aug Park in Scranton. So before going to Nay Aug Park, we stopped at the iron furnaces in Scranton. It's actually right by the park.
So apparently drugs have been a problem for a lot longer than I knew. It says right here that the iron furnace is the era of the rehabilitation of this town came to an end with the new century, the rich iron ores of the Great Lakes region, that's up north, and the use of coke to fuel blast furnaces.
So these 4 massive stone blast furnaces were operated by the Lackawanna Iron and Steel Company, which started in 1840. They had the largest iron production capacity in the United States by 1865. By 1880, it poured 125,000 tons of pig iron, which was converted in its rolling mill into T-rails and other end products. In 1902, the company dismantled the plant and moved it to Lackawanna, New York, to be closer to the high-grade iron ores coming out of the Mesabi Range. So I saw some videos online, and it looked like people used to be allowed to go inside the furnaces, but now they're sadly chained up. I really wanted to go inside, but I could see why they did it. People, leave trash around and everything. So you can't go inside, but they're still really cool. And Nay Aug means noisy brook, which is very true. It was so noisy that I had to record the audio after because you couldn't hear anything that we were saying. So, Nay Aug Park is supposed to be haunted, supposedly. It was established in 1899 as a recreation area for residents of Scranton. They had a zoo, a museum, a pool, and a gorge. Also 2 playgrounds, one of which is supposed to be haunted. I'm going to check out both playgrounds and see if we find anything. So in the 1950s, an amusement park was opened inside of Nay Aug Park. It was opened on a site that had been a dance hall in the 1930s and 40s, so previously it was a dance hall. And then they made it into an amusement park. It had a wooden roller coaster, carousel, and miniature version of the Lackawanna Railroad, bumper cars, boats, arcade games, and all things like that. It was around until the 1990s. Right next to Nay Aug Park was Scranton's Luna Park, which was another amusement park that was around for about 10 years from 1906 to 1916. So the playground that's supposed to be haunted, the locals call the Dead Children's Playground. So this is the first playground. I'm gonna walk around and check with the K2 to see if I get anything. This playground is called the Jaybird Playground. So maybe this is the haunted playground. So the reported hauntings of the park include children's laughter, crying, screaming, all coming from the playground, especially at night when the park is empty. Children's apparitions are seen, shadows or orbs appearing and disappearing on the swings, slides, or other equipment. This playground looked relatively new. I didn't get anything at all in the K2 meter. According to local legend, the playground was built on top of an old cemetery where many children were buried in the late 1800s and early 1900s. Some of the graves were allegedly disturbed or removed during the construction of the playground, angering the spirits of the deceased children. Others claim that the playground was the site of a horrific accident in 1903 when a trolley car crashed into a group of children playing there, killing several of them instantly. So now we're heading down towards the gorge. Now, supposedly there's ruins around Nay Aug Park from these amusement parks that were here. Now I am taking the K2 meter out and checking all throughout this walk. And on the way down, I didn't get anything. Here's the map of the park. So people have drowned here, and I could see how it's very steep. It's very dangerous. Some visitors also encountered more sinister things, like feeling a cold touch, a push or pull, or a scratch from an unseen hand. Visitors feeling a sudden nausea, dizzy headache while near the playground. Some even report seeing a dark figure, a hooded man or a clown lurking around the playground, sometimes chasing or attacking them. Some reported having nightmares, visions, or flashbacks of the children's deaths or suffering after leaving the park. So here's the K2 meter. I actually did get a little bit of a reading here. It's possible that this might be a spot where someone fell over the edge. It went off a little bit. I tried asking a couple of questions. I didn't really get anything. Really beautiful park. I really like the gorge. Probably gonna go back in the summer or spring. See how it looks, maybe after it rained. Checking with the K2 again. It goes off a little bit, but I don't really think it's anything. So here's the train tunnel. It's pretty cool. In the river. So here's the next park. So there were kids playing there in the park, so I couldn't really walk around with the K2 meter. But later on, we go back and we check it out because the kids left. So that park is called the Community Park. And we're gonna go back to that later. More K2, it doesn't really do anything. So there's a really cool bridge that goes across the gorge. But unfortunately, I thought I was recording and I wasn't. There's the bridge, you can see it for a second. I'm pretty upset about it because it looked really cool. It was a really nice day to go because there was really nobody there. It was really quiet, except for the sound of the rushing water. And yeah, it was a good time. So we looked around for some of the ruins of the old amusement parks and didn't see much. We do find a little something later. Train going over the gorge, really cool. I'm glad I got a video, I got to record the train. So we didn't experience anything either. I didn't, as other people had, I didn't hear any kids or feel anything. This is the falls we were at before, where the K2 went off, but we're at a different spot. So we're looking at it from a different, on the other side. So that's a closed off part. They gotta fix it. It's pretty dangerous. So here we found what might have been maybe part of the park, the amusement park before. I don't know. But this is the only possible remnants we found from maybe the park, the old amusement park or something. Some metal pieces. Yeah, it looks like maybe part of a ride? Maybe part of the trolley? No idea. But definitely ruins from something. Here's another one up here. Here's the other playground. Maybe this is the haunted one. This one's called the Community Playground. So I walk around with the K2, check it out a little bit. But the K2 does not go off at all. This one had a little bit more of a weird feel to it. It also looks pretty new. So really the only part that the K2 went off was at that one waterfall by the gorge. That's the only spot. So really the only spots the K2 went off were the one part on the trail, sort of near the treehouse. There's the treehouse there. There was a spot on the trail near the treehouse where the K2 went off. And then the K2 went off by that one fall, the waterfall at the gorge. Those are the only two spots really the K2 reacted. We didn't experience anything creepy, didn't see anything, feel anything, or hear anything. Of course, it'd be really hard to hear over the water. The water is very loud. So Noisy Brook is a really good name for this park. So that's it. That was Nay Aug Park. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.